This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
Bearded ladies were often gaffed as well. Barnum's Madame Fortune was the genuine variety, but when her son proved to be hairy too, Barnum had an idea. He had the boy exhibited in dresses until the age of 14. This was typical Barnum hokum, reports Mike Parker. Not satisfied with a bearded boy, he did his best to dupe punters into believing that they were actually viewing a bearded girl. Then there was Frances Murphy, the bearded lady who worked for the Strange as It Seems show at the New York's World Fair. Mrs. Murphy lived in uptown Manhattan and commuted by subway. One night she was insulted by some drunken sailors, one of whom gave her beard a tug. She got up and landed a punch that sent him sprawling halfway down the subway car. She gave another sailor a black eye and slammed a third into a metal wall. The incident came to the attention of the police, who decided to look more closely at the assailant. As it turned out, Mrs. Murphy was a female impersonator who had, according to showman Lou DeFore, a creditable record as an amateur boxer. DeFore and his partner, Joe Rogers, were forced to remove the bearded lady from their payroll. Their incorrigible sideshow manager and talker, Nate Eagle, apparently kept a straight face as he told a newspaper reporter, "I have been completely taken in by this bearded mountebank. Unfortunately, there always is some unscrupulous person who will take advantage of unsuspecting showmen." With such gaffed oddities, it was small wonder that in 1958 the New Yorker would characterize Eagle as a carnival talker of almost unparalleled genius, a man of such deep, legitimate guile and persuasion that, over the past 43 years, with acts too varied and spurious to list fully, he has probably hoodwinked at least half the nation. Eagle allowed himself to be fooled on another occasion when he was a contractor for the Ringling Sideshow attractions at Madison Square Garden. This time, Brenda Beatty, the bearded lady, was a fellow named Bernie Rogers. During the engagement, the sideshow was visited by a city vice detective who wanted to know, is the bearded lady a female impersonator? As it turned out, the detective was there as a result of a signed complaint by Stella, the bearded lady, a genuine one whose real name was Betty McGregor. Eagle alerted Brenda and sent her to the hotel while he went to the office to meet the detective. He was accompanied by Dottie Williams, a beautiful midget lady who had worked a number of years for Nate. Hall picks up the story. Nate said, "She looks like a woman, dresses like a woman, and tells me she is a woman. That's good enough for me." Pointing at Dottie, he continued, "This little lady has worked for me for several years. She looks like a woman, dresses like a woman, tells me she's a woman, and during our years together, I have never asked her to raise her dress and drop her panties to show me she's a woman." Now, directing his remarks to the detective, he said, "You look like a man, you dress like a man, that's good enough for me." The detective, learning that the alleged bearded lady would be leaving the city in just 5 days, thought it over. He then suggested he write to the complainant asking additional information, says Hall. By the time a return letter could arrive, the show would be gone, eliminating the problem.